G'day folks and welcome to the channel. My name's Matt, I'm a concept artist. I'm going to be developing an adventure while illustrating it as we go. Today we're going to be looking at the Blightsoul. He's a terrifying creature found in the Swamp of Souls. One of many types of Blightsouls, but we'll be drilling down into the first one. And he's going to be called the Hungering Dark. So I know the first question you're going to ask is, Matt, what is a Blightsoul? And I'm going to tell you. A Blightsoul is a group of mini-bosses found within the swamp, and they're going to spread their terror and misery in their own unique ways. Each Blightsoul will be set up so you can either use them as a mini-boss in their own adventure, so the party acts as a group of monster hunters using Roost as their hub as they set out on expeditions to take out each Blightsoul. Or they can just be part of the random encounters found in the old swamp as the party pushes in trying to unravel the mysteries of the swamp and what's caused this corruption and who's causing this corruption. So how are these Blightsouls made? These Blightsouls are constructs built from what can be found in the swamp. Bones, stones, old branches, moss, debris, everything wrapped together in these haphazard creatures. And what brings them to life is a similar system that is used to create the totems. They're infused with a powerful spirit. But the thing is, these are unwilling spirits. They've been forced into a soul jar that's been etched with runes of torture and corruption. And slowly over time, these spirits have been driven mad and placed within these huge abominations of constructs and made to wander the swamp, spreading misery and terror as they stake out their own territories. So who's doing this? Well, that's part of the mystery of the swamp, and I'll start to unlock that in further episodes, but for now, just know something somewhere in the middle of that swamp is creating these guardians, maybe to protect it, maybe to spread the swamp's influence further through the realm. And now that brings us to this particular Blightsoul, the one we call the Hungering Dark. This one's rather unique in that it pushes further from the old swamp out into the new swamp in the marshlands. It hunts only at night, seeking heron folk that have stayed out too long, or it ambushes monk patrols. It really likes ambushing monk patrols, and there's a backstory as to why. And while it hunts at night, it tortures its victims, a bit like a cat and a mouse. It'll play with them. It'll let the souls that it's captured scream out for help in the darkness, whispering, "Please release me, please help. Ah, it's so cold, it's so cold." And then it will disappear and come back an hour later, and they can be aware, the party can be aware that there's something out there in the shadows, twisting and surrounding it and stalking it all the time, these voices asking for release. Pretty creepy stuff. And if you haven't guessed from my last episode, this is because the powerful soul locked in this Hungering Dark is the lost soul of Whispering Wind's sister. And although they've always had this sibling rivalry as they were young heron folk, this is intensified as the Hungering Dark's powerful soul has been driven mad and now competes with Whispering Wind and wants to break Whispering Wind like it's been broken. It partly blames Whispering Wind for what it's become, so it tries to torment Whispering Wind by capturing souls of her monks that patrol, of mocking her with them, and it mocks her in a particularly horrendous way that the party will notice when they get close and face this thing. And when they get close, when this thing is amongst the party, snaking through, biting with its huge crocodile head and its shadowy embrace and flinging monk spears from its body, the party will realise that most of it is made up of heron skulls and heads, heron skulls forming the teeth and the spear points, the thing that the Hungering Dark has captured and used as trophies to cover itself in, all as a monument to mocking Whispering Wind. So hopefully defeating the Hungering Dark will take on a personal tone for the party, not only to release these spirits that are crying for help, but to bring redemption to Whispering Wind, who only wants to bring her sister's soul back to the monastery where she can try bring it peace and let it pass on and take it out of this abomination it's been placed in. And game mechanic wise, this Hungering Dark is going to be very fast, moving through the battlefield with a vicious bite, and also legendary actions where it flings these spears tipped with the skulls of heron monks It's also going to have a cold, shadowy embrace of necrotic energy that anyone close to it will have to make continual saving throws against to stop their souls being sucked and life being drained as it wisps and turns amongst them. It's also going to disappear into the shadows and come at the party from different angles, hopefully making not everyone feel safe. You often get casters and range attacks staying further off in the distance thinking, I'm safe out here. But with the Hungering Dark attacking from angles, disappearing into the night, coming from a different place, everyone's going to be on their toes. I'm going to talk a little bit about the concept process as I developed the Hungering Dark. You can see here that I started off with quite a different shape. I thought of a wicker basket type head idea where the soul jar would be placed into that, almost casting its own big red eye in the darkness. And then, twisting shadow body filled with spears, trying to give a creepy, unique silhouette. Here I'm covering it with debris of the swamp, giving it a sort of immaterial, jagged impression. But I'm going to step away from the wicker basket idea. I'm going to keep that for a different one that I'm going to use sort of as a almost hydra, where it has different soul jars hidden in the different wicker baskets that it has, all with different powers that the party has to figure out. But from here, I've got giant crocs in the swamp, so I thought we'll find a giant croc head. And you can see here I'm starting to attach heron monk skulls to it, fused into the bone to create its wicked teeth. And then chucking on your basic swamp debris, getting those spear silhouettes. Here I'm adding the idea of the necrotic shadow that powers this creature and trails behind it. There's going to be so many spears. Then I added bones, which I haven't really drilled into, but these are going to be heron folk bones that you can see pushing out against the darkness as it flies by. There's the glow of the soul jar that will light it as it moves through the swamp. This is its power source. So lots of shadow, lots of necrotic energy. This thing's huge too, by the way. I should have put someone in there for scale. And here you can see I'm developing and blocking out more of the details. Here's a spear detail, just part of the concept, so people who want to drill in can figure out how things look. I'm going to drill into the head here, just as how the heron folk skulls are attached to the skull, fused in somehow. There's going to be some dark magic there, and your basic poor construction like ropes and stuff. Lots of feathers just to tie back into the heron folk, and a little bit of photo bashing at the end just to bring in some of the details. So that's the introduction to the Hungering Dark and what it's going to become. You can see in the illustrations I've done, I've started working on another Blightsoul as well. This big beast with big, huge wooden scythe claws and a moose-type, antler-type head. I'll work on him some more as well, and I've got the ideas for other ones. Each one designed to provide unique challenges, all different, all powerful in their own way, and really test the party and have them fearful of pushing too far into the old swamp unprepared. So thank you for hanging out with me. That was me talking about the Blightsoul. Next chapter is going to be a little bit exciting because I'm going to bring my partner in who's been working on the ghost elves, or we might call them the blood elves, we're not sure yet, and she's going to show a lot of the artwork she's been working on and the lore and history behind this race that still lives in the young swamp but ventures into the old swamp and uses old survival techniques that the party will find really useful in their own bids to survive as they push forward. So it could be a very good ally for the party. Thanks for sticking around and listening to me talk, and I'll catch you all later. Lots of details in the description below on how you can follow the Swamp of Souls adventure or join our website for our emails as we do updates. Catch you guys later. Bye.